Hey, this is Phil Lilley. I'm on Lake Taneycomo this morning. Thought I'd come up here and do a little fishing and do a fishing report for this weekend. They're running a couple of units, which is really nice, and they actually have been lessening generation all week long. Less and less every day. 2 units is really nice fishing up here, as long as the wind's not blowing real bad. I'm using a little 1/8 ounce sculpin peach jig with a brown head, and it's a nice little brown trout, pushing 15 inches. Nice and fat. Boy, he's been eating good. The guys have been coming up here and drifting. Oop. That was good. Guys have been coming up here and drifting flies and doing real well. Egg flies, especially egg flies and scuds. Just use them on drift rigs. 4-pound line, 1/8 ounce bell weight. They've been fishing them tandem. 12, 18 inches apart. Your drift rig usually is about 4 foot long from the last fly to the bell weight. I usually use a little swivel to attach my line to the drift rig. And you drift them on the bottom just like you would power bait up down below Fall Creek. Nice thing about this, using flies up here, is you don't have to constantly keep baiting your hook. Roland Duffield, a friend of mine, him and his son David up here fishing the last few days, and they've done real well fishing a pink egg fly and a number 10 or number 12 peppy scud, which is kind of a light scud. And they're either fishing those on a drift rig or on a fly rod under a float. You generally fish about 8-10 foot deep on 2 units running. I can see the bottom. It's not that deep at all up here, so you don't have to fish real deep unless they're running 4 units, and then it's fun. But the key in the last few days is the wind. The wind's really been tough the last couple of days, but today's nice. Today's real nice. That's one reason why I came up here, because there's no wind. Fishing in the creeks is still really good. There's still a lot of fish up in Rourke Creek and Coon Creek and Turkey Creek. All those creeks are down by the Branson Landing. There's fish. You can hit it just drifting. Or drifting from Fall Creek down, especially down around our place, Lilley's Landing, and nice pretty male rainbow. When you come out jig fishing, you've got to experiment. Different retrieves to find out what the fish are wanting, if they're being aggressive, if they're being sluggish, working it not necessarily faster, but a little bit harder of jigging it up, letting it fall. We're fishing at more of a swim. Not jigging it up quite as much, but just kind of letting it kind of float down. Well, I tried throwing a 1/8 ounce jig up here and caught a few, but it wasn't too exciting. Still running 2 units. So I'm going to try something that my friend Roland and his son David have been fishing the last few days. And a lot of the guides up here fish the same thing. You can use this rig with a fly rod or a spin rod. I'm going to go ahead and show you this rig that I'm using with my fly rod. This is a carrot float that we sell in the shop. It's the largest one that we carry. It's about a 1 3/4 inch hard foam carrot float with a toothpick stuck in it. Then I've got down here about 10 feet, 12 feet, I've got a split shot, number 3 removable split shot. Then about 24 inches below that, I've got an egg fly. Pink has been the best color. And then I've got a, this is a number 12, probably number 10. It's a 200R hook, but it is a weighted scud. As you can see, it's got some copper ribbing on it, and it's gray. It's called a Peppy scud. And I got that about 1.5 feet below the egg. So if you total all that up, I'm fishing about 14 feet deep. This is a 2-pound 6X tippet. And I've got a taper leader on the tied to the fly line. The key is depth that you fish it and the amount of weight that you use to get your fly down, because you want your flies on the bottom, but you don't want it bumping so much that it detracts from the drift, and you sure don't want it hanging up all the time. And fish on. They said they caught a lot of nice rainbows up here yesterday. Well, and they missed a little one. And he took the scud. Little rainbow. There's one. What? Chuck's giving me a hard time for getting the fly rod out. He's used to watching me with a spin rod. He took the scud again. He's a pretty one. Okay. Boy, I tell you what, the fish up here are just fatter than a tick. They're eating good with all this generation. That's one thing real good about the generation is it's great for the food supply, the scuds and stuff. Whoop. I'm going to release you. Oh, that's a pretty fish. Beautiful. I'm going to fish this a little bit more, and then I'm going to try a couple other things. And there he is. On the scud again. Well, that's 4 rainbows on that one drift. All 4 of them are beautiful fish. And thank you very much. Okay, I'm starting to get a little bit of wind, which is okay. Just a little bit. It's blowing me downstream. And I'm set up to fish the middle or a little bit on the inside of this area going down. I'm below lookout. You probably recognize some of the houses. This has been pretty much the bread and butter run of the guides here lately, is this little stretch. That's how they make their money, putting people on fish, and this has been a hot spot. This is also, like I said before, you know, fishing the flies with a drift rig. Nice gravel bottom. You don't have to mess with a bunch of trees and stuff up here. It's pretty clean, pretty easy drift. A lot of wind's not blowing you all over the place. Making a line down through here, like I said, a little bit on the inside of the bend of the middle. You're going to have areas where it's deep, you know, 8-9 foot deep here. But then you're going to have areas down here that's going to be probably 3 feet deep or less. And this depth between my float and the fly is still a really good depth for either depth of water, because you're going to be on the bottom either way. Ouch. That's one thing about using 2 flies. Second fly, or the first fly, will get you if you're not careful. Another one. Still not very big. And all on the scud. I haven't caught one fish on the pink egg yet. Roland said yesterday they caught about half and half. Not today. They're liking the scud. I think a lot of people think that the scud population stops at the mouth of Fall Creek. Therefore, the scud bite stops there too, and that's just not true. If there are just as many scuds down here below Fall Creek as there is upstream. I think past Short Creek, they probably, because it's deeper below Short Creek, not as many gravel bars, but who knows? I don't know, nobody's really done any studies on them in years, so. But I do know that there's a lot of scuds up in this area. I really do like this stretch. I think the inside bend gets less pressure than the middle and the outside. Pretty little rainbow on a scud. All right. The thing about fishing this, you got to keep adjusting your boat towards the shallow side because it's always wanting to push you away from the. Give me another chance. Thank you. I'm not sure why I got an egg on. Maybe it's an attractor, but they certainly aren't eating in it. Well, I hope my video is showing you a little bit more about fishing Lake Taneycomo and help you catching more trout, have more fun. That deep drifting of scud, egg fly, San Juan worm, using a fly rod or spin rod, it really works good. It's amazing the guides that we use. I'd say about 70–80% of the time that's the rig they use. Of course, they use spin rod. They'll adjust their depth and change flies out, but generally they're using a float, and they're very successful putting their clients on the fish. So it's a good technique to learn, and hopefully I've showed you a little bit about how to use it. So hope you can get out and enjoy this beautiful spring, almost summer type weather, but it is every day it's amazing to see the trees come out and fill out the bluffs and red buds, and I saw some dogwoods yesterday too, so it's a nice time of year, except for the pollen. It's getting kind of bad. Thanks. Bye-bye.